What up, kinfolk? It's your boy, the Do-Rag Gamer, aka Screwface Capone, in the house, and today we have another tech unboxing. Now, some of you might remember a short while ago I did an unboxing feature for the Legends Flashback, which was a plug-and-play console by @Games. And if the name @Games sounds familiar to you, then they're the ones who have been doing those Genesis knockoff consoles. And they've also, and a few years ago, they came out with a ColecoVision Flashback and an Intellivision Flashback. So they're one of those companies that do retro style systems. And the Legends Flashback was a plug-and-play device, which had a series of arcade games and console games. So this is now the newer iteration it just released, but strangely, it's very difficult to find out in the wild, and surprisingly, I can't even find it on Amazon. So this is actually a deluxe version of the console, which I got at Sam's Club. So yeah, I paid for a membership, went in and basically got it to see if it was any good. So one thing you'll notice, like if you saw the last one, then it has kind of similar packaging, where they would list the game companies that are on here at the top, and some of the sprites and stuff at the bottom. So the last one had games from Capcom, Data East, and Acclaim. Now this one has if you notice, it have stuff from Acclaim, Bandai Namco, ColecoVision. There's Disney, there's Lucasfilm, there's Jaleco. That's another old school arcade manufacturer. There's also Tetris, like the last one had. And if you look at the bottom, then there's some pretty interesting titles on here. There's Tetris. There's Tetris Plus 2. Tetris Plus 2. I can't remember if that's an arcade game or a console game. They also got versions of Lion King and Aladdin. I'm pretty sure they're the Genesis versions, because those are the ones that everybody knows of. There's also you also got Mega Man on here. You've got Fix-It Felix Jr., which is probably the newest game on here, which was an old school style game that was created as a tie-in to that Wreck-It Ralph movie. And there's also Donald Duck and Maui Mallard, which was like a platform game that came out during the late 16-bit era. So again, if you flip to the back, then you'll get to see all the different games that are on here. You've got like stuff like 1942, Earth Defense Force, Jumpman Jr. There's also Judge Dredd 95 on here. Strangely, I kind of find it weird that it was included, and it was on the last one as well. And unfortunately, it was the Genesis version, and I thought the SNES version was a slightly better game. And this is probably the Genesis version as well. What else you got? You also got Ghouls and Ghosts. There's some more interesting stuff. There's Gargoyles on here. And there's Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Yeah, that was a classic game too. I know it was published by Konami when it came out, but I believe it was developed by LucasArts. Speaking of which, you also got the 3 Super Star Wars games. Super Star Wars, Super Empire Strikes Back, and Super Return to Jedi. So like the last one, we're gonna open this up, see what it looks like, and then we're gonna play through a few games. Now, as I noted the last time, the older one was based on those. The older one had a similar design to those Genesis knockoffs that they were producing. It right down to the control pad, which was like a 6-button Genesis control pad, but it was a little bit flimsier. I mean, it did the job when it came to playing the games, but I kind of suspect like this one had the same issue. So yeah, let's just open it up, see what we're dealing with. Alright, here we go. Let us open it up. First, let's find something sharp to cut it with. Screwdriver. I'm going to take this little tape off the top here. You know what to do, just peel it off. Alright, let's open it up. This packaging is pretty simple. It's elegant. And here's what you get in the box pretty much. Here's the unit. And like, it doesn't really make any it doesn't really make any differentiation between this one and the previous version. So if you got both, then you might want to keep an eye out or something. And just as I suspected, like, you pretty much get the unit and these, I don't want to say Genesis because you obviously can't play a Genesis with these, but they're similar to the Genesis 6-button control pad. They feel a little less flimsy than last time, but I guess, I don't know if that's just me or... So of course you get the AC plug adapter. And a slight instruction manual. Back to the console real quick. Here's what the console's front looks like. Here's what it looks like on the top. And here's the back. There's a port for your HDMI. There's a port for the AC adapter. And of course, there you got an SD card slot. So I guess the official use is that you're probably using it for save states. But if it's anything like the Super Retrocade, which was another system I took a look at a while back, it's probably used to, you can probably find a way to sideload games into it. And of course, here is the instruction manual. Let's open that up real quick and take a look. So yeah, here's the entire game list. It's, again, it's pretty much basic stuff. Okay, so according to this, you can also use the SD card slot to upgrade the system's firmware, but you got to use SD cards that are 16 gigabytes or less. So it's basic stuff about like how you navigate through the menu, how to use controllers, just basic troubleshooting, things like that. So without further ado, let's take a look and see how this plays. Alright, so here it is on the Legends Flashback device. So I'm back in the Legends Flashback, and if you remember from the previous version, then this menu looks a lot similar to the last version. I think the only real difference would be that there are more games on here, obviously, because of the higher count. So, as you can see, like, the UI was actually one of the better things about the unit. So there are featured games, so it's pretty easy to find whatever game you want. They have different sorting options, feature games. You can find about A to Z, arcade titles, console titles. There's save state management. You can even assign favorites, as you can see. It's grayed out because they haven't signed any yet, as is the recently played tab. So I'm going to hop into some of these games right now. Let's try Donald Duck and Molly Mallard. Okay. So this looks like the Genesis version. Kind of disappointing because the SNES had better sound. But still a fun game, I mean, regardless of the system. It's actually got pretty good graphics, and it came out around, like, I think, 1995 or 1996. It was like one of those last generation titles that you might have missed. But again, I definitely prefer the SNES version if you get a chance to play that. Either way, it's Donald Duck carrying a gun, or if you find a certain token, you can turn him into a ninja. So obviously there's as you saw earlier in the video, then there's a Disney license, so they're the ones who have so obviously it's no big deal for them to have the rights to their own games. In fact, you saw the Lion King on here, and as you know, they recently released a HD version of those on current consoles like the Switch and the Xbox One. Hope we might see this on there before long. Disney definitely had some underrated platforms. You got, I think, World of Illusion on the Genesis Classic. I'm gonna get to the part where I can turn into a ninja. I don't know if that's the second level or later on in this one. I don't remember. Ah! This game actually had been delayed a few times, and people were afraid that they were gonna move it to the PlayStation, but thankfully it came out and ended up being one of the last good licensed platformers of the 16-bit era. I'm a bit disappointed like there's not at least an option for the SNES versions, but then again, like I said before, this is still a good game regardless of what system you play it. Okay, you got the Super Star Wars trilogy. Oh, there's Switchblade. Switchblade is actually a pretty popular game. We'll try that later. NES version. As you can see, you got like hotkeys where you can use the thing to rewind and stuff. Okay, so it looks like this is the, okay, this looks like this actually is the, SNES versions. So I'm not sure if this actually did come out on the Sega Genesis or what. You already know the scroll. It was actually one of the better licensed games like back in the days, because it was pretty hard, but at the same time, it was still a fun game. Like, the sound process really brought home that John Williams score, plus he had these Mode 7 vehicle sections, which were pretty cool. You know, I probably would have liked to see like a throwback to the I really would like to see I'd really like to see is like a throwback to like a throwback style title for like the prequel trilogy and Rogue One, and even the new movies. Now I know people don't like the new movies as much. Like I actually saw Rise of Skywalker. I thought it was pretty okay, but that would be pretty cool to see him like in this section. Like this style of gameplay. That's like one of the things that probably bothers me about this, that low-key bothers me about this. Because like you got the Sega Genesis version of Molly Mallard, which you could have, but you were able to get the SNES version of this, but not of the games like Judge Dredd and Molly Mallard that were like superior on the SNES. But I think it's like a small nitpicky thing. If it turns out that you can sideload stuff, then I probably would sneak them on here. The ROMs of them. You got Womp Rats. So I don't think you can use the lightsaber yet because he still gotta get it. These things just bugging the hell out of me. See, I think that LucasArts is just taking their back catalog or Disney or whoever. Whoever owns the rights to these games should just make releases of it. Maybe just like hand them off to Capcom. I'm gonna try another game on here. Let's do Switchblade. I think it's actually a pretty popular series in the in Europe, at least I think. Okay, this game has no relation to Sega. I think this was actually on Amiga. Oh wow. Pico. So did somebody actually do a for 10,000 years you slept and it's 5 feet over 9 years a week. So did somebody do like a fan translation of this game for the Sega Genesis? That would be pretty cool. Then the slaughter began. We never thought he would return. Now havoc reigns the Undercity. Can I pick that up? Or maybe just background objects? Yeah, I gotta jump over these guys. Yikes. Okay, I can charge it up a bit. Okay, there it is. Okay, so I can gotta charge it up, then press one of the direction pads or let it go or do a kick or something. This control's like just so awkward. Is there a weapon I gotta get or what? There's like freaking splash damage. Here's this thing. So I'm punching it. I guess I gotta see a strategy out of someone how to play the game. Oh, is there a hidden room? Nice. I'm going to save it. This looks like an interesting game. I'll have to check it out later. On here. Sword of Sodan, Gadget Twins. Oh, why to go to the next page? Oh, there's Jungle Book. They got that on here too. Thunderbolt 2, Victory, Zombies Ate My Neighbors. 1993, 2000. So yeah, LucasArts developed this game, but Konami published it when it first came out. And of course, it's a Sega Genesis version. But again, I don't mind. Now how do I get back to the main menu? Huh. I gotta plug in a second control pad, I see. It's a pretty dumb thing to do. Okay, so you actually need 2 players to play this game. This is basically a fun little game where you just walked around, shot monsters, and the second player. And again, it's annoying how they get the Genesis version when the SNES version was more superior. Here's just a bunch of weapons. This game is just so fun. If you got a second player, it's even more fun. I'm hoping they re-release this on like the Switch SNES lineup. Or at least do a like modern day remake. You gotta rescue all the neighbors and kill all the enemies. And there's the exit. Evening of the Undead. Oh, so yeah. Actually stop the zombies by before they eat your neighbors. They're blissfully around, not even realizing that their death is imminent. Oh, that's right, you can use these bazookas to blow a hole through the wall and stuff. Hey, so far we even attack the baby, wouldn't they? Terra and Aisle 5. Okay, so let's try another game. Ooh, Water Margin. It's actually available on Steam right now. Oh, totally rad. That's an NES game. Yeah, I'll come back to it. Let's check out some arcade games. Crude Buster, Burger Time. So a lot of these were on these, a lot of these were on the last version of this one. And here is Edward Randy, the cliffhanger. Join Back Returns. Formation Z. Saint Dragon. Save, load, and rewind functions are incompatible with this game. Huh. So here's Jalco. That was another underrated company as far as arcade. And arcade games back in the day and console games. I think some of the titles that they were known for was there was the Russian Beat series, which was a series of beat 'em ups that are on the SNES. In fact, if you got a Switch, then they made Ball Brothers free on the Super Nintendo Virtual Console. And also there was a game called Bases Loaded that I think they used to create. That was an NES baseball game. If I'm not mistaken, there was also a soccer game too. Plus there was another game called Avenging Spirit. It was an arcade game where you take control of a coach that possess people. Yeah, this is Dragon. Really, Lord's leaving me to forget about the game I just loaded up, but it's delightfully bizarre. You're a dragon and you're fighting against your cyborg dragon and you're fighting against other cyborgs. Nice and bizarre. Well, you press the start button as well, but you can go to there and there are a lot of old school sports games too. Scrum Tries, Pro Tennis, Pro Bowling. Let's go to the next page. Let's see what we got first. There's Strider, Sly Spy. Tetris 2 Plus. Let's check that out. This is an arcade game. Every one of these retro devices, even the Super Retro K, which is a different company, and also there's a Retrobit portable device. They also have some kind of some version of Tetris on it. But this definitely looks a lot more interesting than the version of Tetris they already got on here. So hey.
Ready? Start.
I like this music too. Hey, it's Tetris. I mean, but yeah, I really like this music, and there's a lot of variety in the game modes in this. Oh, companies insisted on putting versions of Tetris on their retro plug-and-play devices. It should probably be this version. And apparently this was produced by Jalco. So that's another classic arcade manufacturer I'm probably going to look into. I got one on Data East coming up. I promise it's coming real soon. Gotta start laying down the vocals for it pretty soon, but you'll want to watch for that. It's a little history segment, and it's going to be another plug-and-play device. Well, not a plug-and-play device, but you'll see what it is. Of course, this is one like the version to have the switch box where you can switch out for another piece. Uh-oh. Ah. I was trying to never get. Actually, I really wanted to see that picture though. Oh well, maybe another time. Back to menu. As far as the controller, it was a little bit hard to get into the port some, but on the other hand, like it's a bit smaller than what I'm used to. Like having it in my hand right now, playing it with it. But the buttons are responsive, and now it does feel kind of flimsy and hollow inside, but I mean for what this system is, you can do worse. They could have done worse. I'll say that. Alright, let's do Michael Hunter G. I speculated the last one because there was a Ghostbusters arcade game, so that this was probably the Japanese version of it, and I think that's what it was. They got this game, and for the U.S. release, they retitled it into Ghostbusters. But they're just keeping it by the old name because they're not using the Ghostbusters license anymore, obviously. So, Super Doubles Tennis. Do I really need 2 tennis games on here? There's Pro Tennis and Super Doubles Tennis, and there's Super Bowl 3. Let's go back to the console games for a minute. Top Gear 2, Top Racer, The Immortal, interesting. Here's an EA game. An image of the old wizard Mortimer leaps from the candle and begins to speak. Druid, you have come to save me. I'm in the dungeons far below. I know I can count on you. This explains your old teacher's mysterious disappearance. But there is one thing strange about the message. Your name is not Druick. Might be a good idea to move. A slave fire. Look for possessions. Find a ring. A name is attached to the end. Druid. Take it? Yes. Let's roll fireball spells. Take it. Don't interfere. Wow, that was pretty intense. Blew the guy's head up. Yikes, there are lots of traps in here. Stop. I forbid you to come any closer. Eat a Disnack. Foolish old man. Ah, I'm dead. Prepare to continue. Don't interfere. Is there a way to play this? Well, I'm gonna take a better look at the instructions to see how to handle combat in this game. Except it looks like an old MS-DOS feature. I'll turn to stone this time. I see you have come. You must rescue Mortimer. He has got the many loves before. The interest is longer. Loves is hidden. Here's the key you need. I must go now. Who are you? Why didn't you help me? Charles, a small but welcome comfort your first day's travel. Drift into an uneasy slumber, wondering about Mortimer. Where's he now? Can you rescue him? You dream of dangers that lag. Let's try another game. Definitely some interesting choices for a title. What's on here? Let's try. Generals of the Yang family. Oh, interesting. Pico Interactive. So I guess these guys must have bought these games over from Japan or something like that. Or at least made like fan re-releases on the for the Sega Genesis. It's a beat 'em up. The graphics aren't much to speak of, but it's classic beat-em-up gameplay. You can do worse. Let's do one more game. Ah, Gargos. Gargoyles was definitely one of the best cartoons in the 90s. And I think it's on Disney Plus, so check it out if you've never seen it. Here we go. This was another like late 16-bit era platformer. I think there was an SNES version planned, but it got canceled. Trying to remember how to get through here. Am I stuck, or is there a way to... Yeah, I'll call it tonight. Let me check this menu one more time. All games. Here, 8. Well, no, there's 10. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and 110. And there's zero tolerance. ColecoVision games. ColecoVision presents Victory by Exidy. Okay, I have no clue how to play this game. I never had a ColecoVision, so I don't know how this works. So yeah, this is the Legends Flashback 2019 edition deluxe. So let's head back to the computer and wrap this up. So yeah, this is the Legends Flashback 2019 edition deluxe. As far as the hardware and the UI, there's no major difference between this one and its predecessor. The only obviously there are more games on here than the last one, and there's a greater variety of games. There's a lot of gems on here. You got the Super Star Wars trilogy, you got those Disney games, and there's even some hidden surprises. There's that Tetris 2, and there's that Saint Dragon I showed you. So as far as a variety, like if you get one of these, there's bound to be at least something on here that you're gonna like. If you're one of those people who's got the big retro pile with thousands of games loaded onto it, this probably isn't gonna appeal much to you. But if you're just a casual old school player or just a casual gamer period, then there's a lot to like about this. Now, one thing I will note is, like, on the hardware itself, like as you saw from the unboxing, like there is no real differentiation between this one and the previous version. I mean, it doesn't even say deluxe on there. So if you got both versions, then that might be a bit problematic. Still, if you're on the fence about it, I would recommend like waiting for a price drop or whatever. But if you're interested in getting one of these, like I said before, it's very difficult to find in the wild. Your best bet is probably going to the Sam's Club website and seeing if there's a store near you that has a unit. But other than that, as far as like plug and play device are concerned, this is definitely one of the better ones on the market, I would say. So if you like what you saw, then make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe. That way you'll know when I make another video. I got some more coming down the pipeline soon, and you're definitely going to want to check them out. In addition, make sure you follow me on Twitch at Screwface Capone to see my live stream. I usually do those at least once or twice a week, so you're going to check those out as well. So anyway, thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you again soon.